There's a number of things you can do to motivate and keep accountable online training clients. First one that we'll go through is a good one for individual clients, so if they're actual personal training clients rather than a sort of a group program or an automated system. This is to find out when you first speak to them what times they wish to train and what days that they're intending to train. And then what you want to do is set up repeating automated emails to go roughly 15 minutes before their intended training time, and then roughly half an hour after they finish their intended training session. So we'll just go through how you do that on PT Distinction. You go to your client's dashboard, just select the emails option, set up repeated email, and you'll see here you can choose days and times. So let's say they're training Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 in the morning, so we'll make it 8:45. So that's for your first email. Give it a title, something along the lines of time to train. Give it a starting date and an ending date. You can keep it going really as long as you like. You can choose a couple of years and pop your date in. Write the message, make it quick and simple, something along the lines of, "Hi, this is when you said you would want to train, so I'm just sending you a quick reminder to tell you to get yourself ready and go and do your training." Once you've written your message in, all you have to do is click save, and that's all set to go now. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8:45. Then, as I say, you repeat the same process for a message roughly half an hour after their scheduled finish of the training session. And this one you'd want to say something like, "How did your training session go? Would you just reply to this email and let me know how you went?" And that way they become accountable to actually reply to your message and let you know they did it. It's a good way to show you care. It's a good way to keep them actually going and motivated, and it's also a good way to get some accountability from them where they have to send you a message afterwards to confirm they did their training session and they trained hard. As you can see, it's very, very quick and easy to set up. Next very useful method to keep clients accountable and motivated is to use a food and training diary. This is probably best for clients who haven't quite got to grips with exactly what they need to be eating, so they can actually write down a bit of detail and then you can give them some feedback on it. So in PT Distinction, we're in the client account. Just go to add coaching/attachments, click on food diary. You can preview it here, so it'll always go to the current day's date or the week of the current day. Gives them space to record breakfast, snack, lunch, snack and supper, water, what tea they had, what coffee they had, other drinks, and then a little space to record what they did for training. If they go over the space, that's absolutely fine because it will just carry on and take all the writing that they need to use. And it'll go through the week and you just get your clients to fill that in. Now that's also available on the apps, so they can fill it in even if they're offline and make it very easy. Just a slight side note with food diaries and training diaries is if someone's got a very busy schedule, one of your clients, it might not be the ideal thing to have because you don't want to necessarily give them more to do and overload them. So this is a good thing for people who've got a bit of time, who need some form of accountability, and a lot of people find it very helpful to actually write down what they're eating because it makes them really focus on what they are eating and it makes them think twice about it. So this is method number 2. All you would need to do is click on food diary and add it. Done. Once they've gone to a level where they don't necessarily need a food diary, but you want to keep track of what they're doing and you want them to have a visual chart of how well they're doing, the next brilliant thing is an adherence chart. Now the adherence chart I will just show you quickly, again in coaching and attachments. Preview it. Comes to the right date. It just gives them a little chart that they can tick, or they can cross, or they can put NA. So what happens is by the time they get to the end of the week, they'll see a huge number of either crosses, or in this case circles rather than ticks, or they'll see a number of NAs, which is fine because most people won't have 6 meals in a day. We've just put the space there to allow it. This will let them know really how well they're doing, and it will keep them accountable to not only you but to themselves. The more zeros they find, they'll be happy, they'll realise they're doing exactly as they should be doing. By the end of the week, when they see lots of X's, it's a great visual to show them, yeah, you may think you're eating better, but actually you're only doing it on half your meals or 40% of your meals. So it's a great visual for them, and it's another thing that helps to focus the mind, and it lets you know exactly what they're doing, as well as letting them know more consciously what they're doing. But also this is very, very quick and easy to do. They just need to log in or use the app and do a simple circle or a simple NA or a simple cross. It's that easy, and then save it. Phone calls can be very, very simple. They're just, again, to keep clients accountable and to keep them really happy and enjoying your service. The things you need to go through, just have a quick catch up, then find out how the training's going, find out how their eating's going and any lifestyle tips you might have given them, then answer any questions that they have. And the final thing you need to do is just fix up a time and date for your next phone call. It really should be quite quick and easy, 10 to 15 minutes maximum. And again, it's about accountability, it's about motivation, and it's also about communicating with your client and building the relationship. Facebook groups can be very useful in motivating and keeping clients accountable. Two kinds of groups that you might use in online training. One of them is more for motivation and creating a forum where you're very active in it. You can post your videos and you can do regular posts of information and motivation, and you try and get as much interaction with your clients and group members as possible. This is very good for a group sort of program and offering extra support alongside that program if you wish to do it, but it can be a little bit time consuming. The second method is to use it almost like a frequently asked questions type of group, which is very much what we do with this 30-day online PT challenge, whereby it means you can just answer questions, and if people come to you with the same question via email, you can just direct them to the group and give them a link to join the group. This saves a lot of time on admin, a lot of time on answering questions over email, but it's not designed to be particularly an interactive group. So those are the two sort of group methods you can use. One of them, as I say, is a motivator, and the other one is more just to answer questions. Again, you are keeping people accountable, but you're just keeping them happy and making sure they know what's going on. These would be best in a group style program. You probably wouldn't use a Facebook group for purely individualized online personal training, because all the interaction would be the same as the programs and assessments personalized. So this is for a sort of group type program. And the last thing you can do to keep them accountable and motivated to themselves and to you is to give them regular assessments. So all you do is go to Add Assessment, You could go from a new assessment or from template, entirely up to you. We'll just create an assessment here. We'll call it a monthly assessment. And then we'll just put in body composition analysis. Simple ones for online clients just be to put their weight in. Drag it in, drop it in the box, as with everything else. And a few tape measurements are also good. Always choose appropriate tape measurements. So if they want to lose weight from certain areas, you would have those. If they want to grow in certain areas, you have those. Or you can just include any ones you want. Drag it and drop it. And then go to your record sheet. This one you can either hide from client and do it yourself. So you would probably do it over Skype and get them to take the measurements and you record them. Or I like to leave these ones so that the client can see it and they can record it for themselves. So just close that down, pop it live and save it. Then go back to the client. And having now left the assessment record sheet up for your client to see, they will be able to go to their monthly assessment, view/record results. And this is what they will get. So they'll be able to take their measurements and record all their results and then save it. And all you'd then need to do is to put another one live each month, or you could actually just schedule it inside PT Distinction to go each month. And then they would have something that you can compare to previous results. As all trainers know, having results there, having past results and keeping track of your results for clients is a fantastic way to keep them motivated, keep them on track and keep them heading in the right direction. So those are methods to keep online clients motivated and accountable, but not just accountable to you, accountable to themselves, and some good visual aids where they can see how they're improving, or they can see how they're eating, how regularly they're training, and whether they're doing the things that you ask them to do.